Your Kenmore dryer is running, the drum spins, the timer moves, the clothes tumble, but after an hour, your clothes are still cold and wet. Sound familiar? Before you spend hundreds of dollars on a service call or rush out to buy a new dryer, there are several common problems that may be causing your Kenmore dryer to stop heating, and many of them can be diagnosed by homeowners with basic tools. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the most common causes of a Kenmore dryer that won't heat, how to safely troubleshoot the problem, and when it's time to call a professional. Let's get started. Welcome back to Handyman Al. I'm Handyman Al. On this channel, we focus on practical DIY repairs, home maintenance tips, money-saving homeowner advice, and simple solutions that help you avoid unnecessary repair bills. If that's something you're interested in, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Now let's diagnose that Kenmore dryer. Safety first. Before working on any dryer, safety comes first. Always unplug the dryer before removing panels. For gas dryers, turn off the gas supply, wear gloves to protect your hands from sharp metal edges, and if you ever feel uncomfortable performing a repair, contact a qualified appliance technician. Safety always comes first. Tools you may need. Most dryer heating repairs require only a few basic tools. You may need a Phillips screwdriver, a nut driver, needle nose pliers, a multimeter, work gloves, and a vacuum cleaner for lint removal. Having these tools nearby makes troubleshooting much easier. Check the power. One of the most overlooked causes of a dryer not heating is actually a power problem. Most electric Kenmore dryers require 240 volts. The motor can sometimes run on only part of the electrical supply, which means the drum spins, but the heating element never receives full power. Check your breaker panel. Look for a partially tripped breaker. Reset both dryer breakers completely, then test the dryer again. You might solve the problem in less than a minute. Remove the back panel before accessing the internal components of your Kenmore dryer. You'll need to remove the back cover. First, unplug the dryer from the electrical outlet. Next, using a nut driver or screwdriver, remove all screws securing the rear panel. Keep the screws in a safe place so they don't get lost. Once the screws are removed, carefully pull the panel away from the dryer. Be cautious of sharp metal edges. Set the panel aside in a safe location. You now have access to the heating element, thermal fuse, thermostats, and other internal components needed for troubleshooting and repair. Check airflow. Poor airflow is one of the biggest reasons dryers stop heating properly. When lint builds up inside the vent, heat cannot escape. This causes overheating, and eventually safety components begin shutting down the heating system. Disconnect the vent hose. Inspect for lint buildup. Clean the entire vent path, and check the outside vent cap. You may be surprised how much lint accumulates over time. Where are the fuses located? One question homeowners often ask is, where are the fuses located inside my Kenmore dryer? The answer depends on the model, but most Kenmore dryers contain several safety devices that protect the machine from overheating. Understanding where these components are located can make troubleshooting much easier. Let's take a look at the most common ones. Thermal fuse. The thermal fuse is one of the most common reasons a Kenmore dryer stops heating. Its job is simple. If the dryer overheats, the thermal fuse blows and shuts down the heating circuit. In most Kenmore dryers, the thermal fuse is located on the blower housing near the exhaust vent. A blown thermal fuse often indicates restricted airflow, a clogged dryer vent, or excessive lint buildup. Cycling thermostat. The cycling thermostat controls normal drying temperatures. Unlike the thermal fuse, it repeatedly turns the heating element on and off during operation. This helps maintain proper drying temperatures. In many Kenmore dryers, the cycling thermostat is mounted on the blower housing near the thermal fuse. Because these components are close together, many homeowners confuse them during troubleshooting. Thermistor. Newer models. Newer Kenmore dryers often use a thermistor. A thermistor is an electronic temperature sensor. It continuously monitors dryer temperatures and communicates with the control board. If the thermistor fails, the dryer may not heat properly or may overheat. The thermistor is usually located on the blower housing near the exhaust system. High-limit thermostat. The high-limit thermostat provides additional protection against overheating. If temperatures become excessively high, this thermostat interrupts power to the heating system. In most Kenmore dryers, The high-limit thermostat is mounted directly on the heating element housing, usually near the lower rear portion of the dryer. This component is frequently mistaken for the thermal fuse, but they perform different functions. Thermal cutoff fuse. Many Kenmore dryers also include a thermal cutoff fuse. Think of this as emergency backup protection. If temperatures become dangerously high, the thermal cutoff opens and prevents the heating element from operating. This fuse is typically mounted beside the high-limit thermostat on the heater housing. When one fails, many technicians recommend replacing both the thermal cutoff and high-limit thermostat together. Quick reference summary. Here's where you'll typically find these components. Thermal fuse, mounted on the blower housing. Cycling thermostat, mounted on the blower housing. Thermistor, mounted on the blower housing. High-limit thermostat, mounted on the heating element housing. Thermal cutoff fuse, mounted on the heating element housing. Knowing these locations can save a lot of troubleshooting time and help you identify the real cause of a Kenmore dryer that has stopped heating. Check the thermal fuse. The thermal fuse acts as a safety device. If the dryer overheats, the fuse opens and shuts down the heating circuit. A blown thermal fuse cannot be reset. It must be replaced. Use a multimeter to test continuity. If continuity is missing, replace the fuse. But remember, a blown fuse often means another problem caused overheating, usually poor airflow. High-limit thermostat. Another important safety component is the high-limit thermostat. Its job is to prevent dangerous overheating. If it fails, the heating system may stop working. Use a multimeter to check continuity. If the thermostat tests bad, replace it. Fortunately, these parts are usually inexpensive. Cycling thermostat. The cycling thermostat regulates dryer temperature. It turns the heating element on and off during operation. If it sticks open, the heating element may never activate. Testing this component requires a multimeter and basic electrical knowledge. Check the thermistor. Many newer Kenmore dryers use a thermistor. This sensor monitors temperature electronically. If the thermistor fails, the control board may receive incorrect temperature readings, and heating performance can suffer. Consult your model's specifications when testing resistance values. Control board issues. If all heating components test good, the problem could be the timer or the electronic control board. These components control when power reaches the heating circuit. Look for burn marks, damaged connectors, or obvious signs of failure. Gas dryer issues. If you own a gas Kenmore dryer, the diagnosis changes slightly. Common gas dryer heating problems include faulty igniters, bad flame sensors, weak gas valve coils, or gas supply issues. A glowing igniter that never lights the burner often points to a failed gas valve coil. Remove the heating element. Now let's remove the heating element. First, make sure the dryer is unplugged. Locate the heating element housing on the back of the dryer. Disconnect the wires attached to the heating element terminals. It's a good idea to take a photo first, so you can reconnect everything correctly later. Next, remove the mounting screws holding the heating element housing in place. Carefully slide the heating element assembly straight out. Inspect the coils for breaks, burn marks, or signs of damage. If the element is defective, replace it with a matching Kenmore-compatible heating element. Once installed, reconnect the wires, secure the mounting screws, and you're ready to reassemble the dryer. Remember, handle the new heating element carefully. The coils can be damaged if bent or stretched. Check the heating element. The heating element is one of the most common failures. Think of it like a giant toaster coil. Over time, the coil can break, burn out, or short against the housing. Remove the rear access panel, inspect the heating element visually, look for broken wires, burn marks, or damaged coils. Use a multimeter to check continuity. No continuity usually means replacement is needed. Avoid these mistakes. Don't replace parts without testing them first. Don't ignore clogged vents. Don't work on a plugged-in appliance. Don't assume the heating element is always the problem. And don't forget to check the breaker panel. Many repairs are simpler than people think. How much could this save? A typical dryer service call can easily cost between $150 and $400. Replacing a thermal fuse yourself may cost less than $25. A heating element may cost significantly less than a professional repair visit. Learning basic appliance troubleshooting can save homeowners hundreds of dollars over time. Handyman all-home tip. Whenever you're inspecting a home, always test the dryer. Run it for several minutes. Feel for heat. Check airflow at the outside vent and inspect for excessive lint buildup. Small appliance issues discovered before purchase can save money later. When to call a professional. Call a professional if you smell burning wires, the control board appears damaged, gas components need replacement, you discover damaged wiring, or you're uncomfortable using electrical testing equipment. There is no shame in calling an expert when safety is involved. Quick recap. Today we covered power supply, breaker issues, vent cleaning, heating elements, thermal fuses, high-limit thermostats, cycling thermostats, thermistors, control boards, and gas dryer heating problems. Hopefully, you now feel more confident diagnosing a Kenmore dryer that stopped heating. Disclaimer. This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. Always follow manufacturer instructions, use proper safety precautions, and consult a licensed appliance repair technician whenever necessary. Handyman Al is not responsible for injury, damage, or loss resulting from the use of information presented in this video. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Handyman Al. Also, if you have ideas for future DIY repairs, appliance fixes, home maintenance tips, or homeowner troubleshooting videos, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Your idea might become the next Handyman Al video. Until next time, stay safe, keep learning, and remember, DIY fixes, real results, and savings for homeowners. I'll see you in the next video.